Within UK itself, there are a number of private schools in particular that takes up the IGCSE. Globally, there are about 200 countries, of which more than 130 countries are actually using the IGCSE. So that is a very, very global curriculum or education pathway being followed by many countries all over the world. Now, this particular online platform essentially follows the British school curriculum. Now, I think I want to briefly share with you what is the difference between your GC, SE and your IGCSE. So the IGCSE is an international general certificate for secondary education versus just the general certificate of secondary education in the UK. Your IGCSE is fundamentally based on the British curriculum, but with an add-on to cater to international clientele, where they have got an international dimension. For example, if you take a subject like geography, if you are a British student studying in the UK, you would learn about the UK history or the British history. But when you are taking a history or a geography subject, it will not be just the UK. They would actually be more international in the sense that if we take geography, for example, it would be global context. It will not just be focused on, so to say, the United Kingdom. You'll be taking probably world geography or certain region, etc. So that basically is the difference between your GCSE and your IGCSE. The other difference is the range of subjects which have been offered under your IGCSE. They are much more, selection as compared to the home typical UK British school curriculum. Okay, so in other words, your IGCSE is more suited, to the international, customers, even to call it that way. Now, under the Ed class, they have got a lot of resources for teachers and your learners and your parents. For example, they have got more than 17,000 learning lessons. That includes video, e-learning lesson, games, and quizzes in which you can draw upon and use. They have got, in the UK, in the UK, they have got face-to-face support. They can have online support. Now, in the United Kingdom and a lot of rather developed countries, when young learners, log into the online community, very often there are dangers, disciple, crimes and bullying and, all kinds of things happen. And therefore, to them, safeguarding is a very important aspect whenever young learners, not adults, young learners, right up to your secondary school, level, they need to be protected. And they have got built-in mechanism to ensure that when the young learners, those who are below the age of 18, they are well protected and not being harassed, bullied, or whatever it is while they are in the cyberspace. So that's very, very important. They have got online support that you can log in and ask to receive any assistance that you need 24/7. Okay, and they have a lot of resources, including assessment. See, one of the things that most of the parents or homeschooler, they need to do is when they later on go on to sit for, the final examination to get your IGCSE certification, so to say, you need to be able to practice, as close as possible, the actual examination, the question, etc. And they have got what you call a bank of, assessment question, which mirror the actual examination that you can actually practice and prepare, all right, yourself, okay? So they provide a very comprehensive, what I call a platform to support, all right, your learning. So here, the aim is to improve your learners' result. That's the bottom line, all right? And you can do it anywhere, anytime. It support all kinds of devices, whether it's desktop, tablet, or even your mobile. All right, even your mobile. Okay, so anywhere, anytime. So quality, all right,
Professor
is,
Chen,
yeah.
pause a moment, sorry. 請其他 homeschool educator turn off 個 microphone first，等 Professor Chen 集中精神。請 turn off 個 microphone。
即係 Vivian 啊，你係個 host，你可以 control 佢哋個咪嘅。
我可以邊個位啊？請問知唔知？
喺嗰個中間嗰啲人嗰啲名隔離嗰度，你會見到有個咪，你可以 control 佢哋，你可以 mute 咗佢哋嘅。
You can mute them. You can mute them.
Yeah. 你可以睇下佢哋個 list， 總之係嗰個 list 嗰度每一個人個咪，你係可以 control 嘅，你係個 host。
哦 ，OK， 我見Connie。OK， 我見到，好，唔該晒。OK，Professor Chen，sorry about it.
All right. So here are some of the key features and the what you call unique, all right, the proposition to those who pick up the ed class. So in terms of quality, they are UK government approved by the Department for Education. That's very, very important. They have got a lot of awards, all right, winning accolades, so to say, from different bodies involved in all the primary, secondary school delivery in the UK. So they cover the full British curriculum, year 1 to year 12. So from your early years, primary 1 right up to your GCSE level. So basically 12 years, all right, the provision. Flexible. And one of the key things basically is adaptive learning model. So with AI, if we are in education, the trend or the paradigm shift is what we call adaptive learning, which would involve what you call personalized learning. You see, most of the education system have got a one-size-fits-all. All right, you have got a class in Hong Kong, say in your secondary 1. Typical 30, 40 students in one class, not unusual. So if you are a teacher, you deliver, all right, one message that's supposed to, reach all the 30, 40. But we know that within that particular class of 30, 40, there are a lot of diversity. There are a lot of differences in our understanding, knowledge, prior knowledge, experience, interests, etc. And it doesn't work. But with your AI-assisted, kind of platform, all right, you can actually individualize or personalize that by analyzing their strengths and the weaknesses and all that, and be able to then design a personal learning plan or pathway that suits, right, individual learners. That is something online education can provide with the technology, which your traditional conventional face-to-face, right, teaching will not be able to achieve. And built into this particular platform is they want to make learning fun. That is the key, all right? For academic performance, for students to learn well and enjoy, all right, learning should be fun. And they use gamification and very interactive, engaging kind of delivery materials or content. The other thing is affordable, all right, affordable. At the end, I'll probably give an indication of what is the kind of cost. If you're going, you will be quite surprised, right? You'll be quite surprised about, the pricing that we can actually, offer you, okay? So you have got personalized and inclusive learning, including those with special education needs. Okay, so in Hong Kong, all right, as well as in China, special education need is an emerging, issue that more and more educators are now becoming to be more aware that in fact there are a lot of their learners that have got this particular need, but they do not know how to actually, solve the problem, to be able to identify and to provide learning opportunity that suits those with special education need. In your ed class, they have built that in, right, to enable the inclusive education provision that also take into account those with special needs. And of course, in an online program, you can access and use it 24/7. Right, so basically, the way they do it, they have got a proven, kind of process. There are 5 stages, basically. There are 5 stages that they actually look at. Now, here, basically, it covers all the core curriculum subjects. English, mathematics, and science, these are the 3 core mandatory, subjects, so to say, that's been offered under the British curriculum. And then there are other subjects like geography, history, ICT, design, business, etc., that you can pick up, all right, in order to fulfill the requirement when you want to later on move on to your A levels and going on to universities, colleges, etc. Right, so here are some of the key features that summarizes the ed class provision. Okay, so fully tailored British curriculum, and here in this case, it will be applicable for you outside the UK, linked to your IGCSE, right? Linked to your IGCSE. Adaptive learning for individuals, which I've highlighted, right, can be tailored for specific location, available in multiple language. This has been, a project that they have actually started to undertake. As far as in Chinese, all right, is concerned, that is something that I have got to reconfirm. I'm not sure whether they have a good market in Spanish and in other languages. Okay. So the pathway is you can actually start and end from primary to your secondary, all right, 12 years, all right, year 1 to year 12, all right, including right up to your GCSE levels. So each child has access to a program tailored to their strengths and weaknesses. How they can do that, I will explain to you afterwards when I talk about the process. Now, blended or fully online. So there are a number of possible ways in which individuals, such as homeschool, training centers, there are, like in Malaysia, for example, there are a lot of homeschool learning centers. We call it tuition centers in Malaysia, all right? And similarly, I think in Hong Kong, you have a lot of private tuition center, which is a booming, all right, the industry. After school, they go to tuition centers, to take, additional classes to try to get, the grades, etc. So a lot of them, international school, all right, they do face-to-face teaching, but they can also subscribe and use your ed class to supplement, all right, the face-to-face tuition. So there are different ways of actually, using your ed class. But I think it will be most suited to your homeschooling, all right, most suited to your homeschooling, where you can actually do it, entirely where you are. You don't need to go to a particular location, all right, to take it up. So as I said, they can be used in the classroom for home study or a blend between the two. Highly affordable. I will share with you towards the end what is the cost, all right, the implication, okay? For international schools and all that, all right, they would also need teachers training, all right? But as a parent, I don't know whether you want to invest, all right, and get yourself to be fully trained and to provide, the education delivery. But there is that particular provision, right, if you want to take it up. It's an education game platform. As I say, they want their lessons to be more engaging, right? They want learning to be as fun as possible to increase engagement, commitment, motivation, and performance. So it includes English, math, science, and your mathematics. So it fulfills all the requirement of the subject that you want to take up, all right, under your IGCSE. Self-paced, okay? You can actually design your own learning plan, although there will be a prescribed timetable structured the right way, but you have an option to design, all right, your own learning, all right, path, a user-friendly experience, and very, very important is your parental engagement. See, what happens here is because it's an online platform, we can actually, embed the parents that can log in, they can actually participate, they can monitor, they can assign homework, and they can track how, all right, the child are actually doing real time. So in an AI cloud-based system, they have what you call your analytics and reports, all right, that would actually be for individual, all right, learners. It can be a class, it can be the whole form or the whole standard 6. If we are an international school taking up the solution, for example, you may have 3 classes at primary 6, all right? You want to, look at all the 3 classes, how they are performing and comparison. So there are data, there are analytics that enable you, right, to track, all right, to analyze and to take whatever action, right, needed to improve the performance, okay? So as I said, there are government, UK government approved provision for online education catering to your British curriculum that covers both the GCSE as well as the IGCSE. Okay, so those of you who knows about your IGCSE, where they are, taken up by overseas international schools or learning centers or homeschool, most of them would actually choose the Cambridge, all right, the Cambridge assessment, the international. Now, the other big boy who is involved is your Pearson education, where that is your EdXL. So there are a number of possible, providers that you can actually choose, but the most popular, all right, the most popular is your Cambridge Assessment International, all right, for your IGCSE. So your ed class curriculum, the syllabus, etc., are geared towards the Cambridge IGCSE, all right, assessment. Okay, so basically, you can log in, all right, and take a look, all right, at what they actually provide. So there's a link there. I'm going to send this PowerPoint to Dr. Vivian, and then he can probably share that, all right, for those who want to explore before they make the decision. That's very, very important. You really need to understand, all right, a lot more before you want to commit your child's future, right, to this particular platform, okay? So I will give you, some demo access that you can actually go into. Okay, so in the system, depending on what is your role and who you are, you're a teacher, you're a student, you are a parent, etc. You will have different access and you will have different functions that you can actually use in the system. So this is the student view, all right? This is the student view. So basically, all right, so when they log in, you will see there independent learning, timetable lessons, report, games, reward. I talk about the gamification, right, making it fun. So when they go on to the program, whatever assessment and things that they have attempted, there are scores that they accumulate, and there are rewards, badges, and things like that. So that's quite common now in terms of education and gamification, okay? So you have got your progress assessment, you can track that. You have got your homework, The homework can either be assigned by the teacher or it can be by the parents. Okay. Then you have got the library where you have got all the resources for all the subjects that you can choose and select that you actually, want to do. And there are also career guidance, kind of resources. So this is very good. Okay, when you go to even a school in Hong Kong, a private, they would not have all these, right, the resources. They are quite, limited, all right, in that sense. Right, so independent study, as I said, a student have a chance to study independently to the concentrated pathway, all right, while the independent and library pathway. So when you go in, you want to select. You may, when you look at the structured timetable program offered, it may not suit you, all right? It might not suit you, and therefore you can create your own. So you go to the library, you go to the subject, you go to the level, and then you, all right, select that, and then you design, all right, your own. So in this case, that's where the parents comes in. They can control that, all right? They can actually design that, as to whether some of the learners, because they are prodigy, they are very smart, they cannot follow the average student timetable, okay? So the average one, they might maybe take, 6 months to complete, the full syllabus. For the smart one, they probably, needs only 3 months, okay? And the intensity, how many times do you want them to log in and do maths or physics or chemistry is under your control. You have got that ability to personalize and plan out, all right, a study program for yourself. All right, so this is very, very advantageous, okay? All right, so the teachers or the parents, they can actually log in, they can monitor, they can see how each of the learning, right, modules or subject been undertaken, right, by the learners. Okay, you can check performance. All right, now when the students are doing the exercises or the practice, there will be automated feedback given, which are AI generated. You see, traditional education system, if we are a teacher, we have got to manually mark every of the homework, so to say, that we give. And that is very, very tiring. And there are a lot of burnout among teachers in the Hong Kong system in particular. But it's not just Hong Kong, it's all over the world. Teachers, particularly in the primary and the secondary, they are burdened with a lot of grading, providing feedback and all that. It takes up most of their time. Okay, so much so that they have very little time to do other more important, all right, tasks. So now it is, all right, AI, assisted, and you can actually track. They will give, the real time, all right, feedback to the students, and you can also track and see where they are. And from there, you can actually plan and assign additional, or we will use the word remedial. I prefer to use developmental. Remedial is very negative. I would rather use the word, right, developmental, kind or further learning they can take up to push up their performance. Okay, so now all these you are able to do, right, in a highly AI-assisted computing system, which you cannot do, right, on a manual system. I talked to you about the 5-step, right, the learning journey that EdClass actually make use of. Okay, so step 1, they call it baseline initial assessment. Now, this is very important. Before students are being taught anything, the ideal situation is they should be assessed as to where is their level. Maths, for example, or English, or whatever that is, all right? If there is a way in which you can test out, assess, and determine what is the current level of proficiency the learner is, then you are on the first step to success. If you assume and you jump in, then you find that you could be making, very costly a mistake. So this is the first thing. Whenever they enroll and they sign up for, you know, the levels, and they will actually do an initial test, all right, which is AI, all right, assisted, to be able to give you an accurate assessment, all right, of the standing or the status or the performance, all right, the level, all right, of the students. Then they go into your step 2. Once they have undertaken that test, they would have what you call your gap analysis. All right, your gap analysis. So if you look at the, all right, there's a student, these are the tasks. If you take maths, all right, for example, they might have multiply and divide with powers of 10. There'll be a number of, you know, exercises that they would do. They might score all of the 3, they score 1, for example. Multiplication, division, order of operation, estimating, law of indices. So they have got a color code. Green, you are very good, just like the traffic. They use the traffic light system. Green means go. You can move on. All right. Orange is, well, you're fairly good. Get ready to go to the next stage. But if it is red, it's alert. Stop. You're in trouble. Danger. Okay. So that's how they actually do the gap, right, analysis. And there are reports that you can actually look at. Then they go to step 3, your pathway assign. So based on the analysis, the gap analysis, you can then formulate a plan, all right, to improve and bridge those gaps, those in red in particular and orange, to move them to green, ready to go, show, demonstrate the mastery, you know, of that particular subject matter, and you can then, you know, move on. Okay. Now then, step 4 is, all right, so we always say practice makes perfect, but actually the right practice makes perfect. So in education, repetition, retention, memory, and input-output learning, all these require you to be practicing, and you need to be assessed continuously. All right, so we call it, you know, the progress assessment, where you can track from the beginning, the first time that they take the test, to at the end when they completed the full syllabus. You can track, all right, how they are doing all the way. Okay. Now, then they will go on to have what you call, you know, the practice work linked to the examination that they're going to be preparing themselves for. If you're going to go for the IGCSE, all right, Cambridge, all right, in maths or whatever that is, when you're doing the practice, you can actually start, well, in the school system, what normally they do is they have what you call trial exams or mock exam to prepare them before the real exam. So all these are embedded into the system that will help you really be fully prepared and geared to the targeted examination, all right, the board that you are finally going to be sitting, okay? So all these subsequently to give you confidence and, you know, attain, all right, your academic, all right, success. Okay. So Ed Class offers several benefits for different stakeholders: the student, the parents, school management, right, when they use the system. Okay. So here are some of the summarized benefits. Right? As a student, flexible learning, access lessons anytime, anywhere, even when they're on holiday, while they're waiting in the airport lounge, they can still access, you know, and learn, all right, who needs remote learning or alternative education. Now, in the UK, just like in Hong Kong, a lot of the younger learners are now having a lot of mental stress. Bullying and emotional and all kinds of things. And some of them have opted out of the school system. And Ed Class was actually designed to actually overcome this problem, to provide an alternative education to those who does not fit into the state system. So they have designed it, right, in such a way that this alternative education caters to the needs of those who does not fit in the conventional national, all right, system. Personalized support, all right, in the UK, All right, they even have face-to-face, one-to-one support, but been taking out of the UK, you will not have that access, but you have online. All right, you can still have online rather than the face-to-face live support, all right, with the UK teachers. Okay. Safe and secure learning environment, as I said, safeguarding in the cyberspace is very critical and is built into the system to actually control and monitor that to ensure that your kids are in safe hands when they are in cyberspace. Exam coursework preparation, access to structured curriculum that helps in preparing for assessment and your exams. Now, basically, when it comes to the assessment, virtually all IGCSE are final examination based. They used to be what you call a coursework assignment, which are internally accessed at the school. And then you have got your final, written unseen examination. So most of them have moved towards the final, and assessment rather than coursework. Okay. Reintegration support or help students retaining to mainstream education by keeping them on track academically. For the parents, very important. You want to know how your kid, or your child is doing in the school system. Very difficult in the state conventional system. Very difficult for you to get the feedback on the progress. Once a year, probably you have got meet the parents, teachers meeting, and there's not very much they can actually share with you as to the performance of your child. You probably get called when your child is in serious problem, discipline problem or whatever problem, and then you get called to the school office to meet up with the head teacher or etc. But otherwise, there is very little monitoring as to how your child is doing. Now, you can do it real time, 24/7. Okay. Support for special education need, as I say, the system accommodates student with learning difficulty by offering your personalized pathway. Reduces your learning gap, ensures students stay on track even if they miss school due to illness or other reason. In the traditional school setting, when you are sick, when you are due another reason, if you are an athlete, for example, representing your country for Olympic Games, Asian Games, you miss, that's difficult for you to catch up. There is little or no provision for you, to catch up. There's no repeat of the class conducted by your teacher, say 3 weeks ago. And an online system, you can go back again and again, what you missed, okay? Same alternative for excluded or vulnerable, student, okay? So some, because of their physical, attributes or other, they find it difficult to fit into a class environment in the traditional school. Okay, so now they are safe. They are not being looked down upon or being bullied or whatever that is. Okay. So for your school management and teacher, I think the most important thing is actually it lessen their workload, higher productivity, and they're able to accurately assess and monitor performance, and they can take remedial or developmental steps to improve and bridge the gap, of the learners, in which they have. Okay, so I have finished my presentation, and Dr. Vivian actually is our authorized representative. So if there are other things that you want to catch up with Dr. Vivian, you can contact her. Okay. So that's my presentation. So how long did I take? Okay, about 40 minutes. Well, it's question time, so I'm open to answer any questions that you have.
Any language. Hi, Dr. Martina.
Hi, Dr. Vivian.
Oh,
yes,
Dr.
finally I
Martina.
can get sometimes. Hi, Professor. Yes, very informative.
So, any question? Cantonese, Mandarin, English 任何問題，廣東話、普通話、英文，我哋喺度回答。關於 homeschool，關於 IGCSE，學習問題，關於點樣從homeschool 進入大
Maybe
學。
there's a piece of information on the price that I want to let them know, which I did not. Okay, let me tell you what is the price. If we are in the UK, all right, in the UK, all right, it would actually cost on a year £7,295 a year for a child. That's the UK pricing, but they have full access to even the one-to-one, support and things like that. Okay. Now, if you are doing it outside the UK, you will obviously not have, 100% of the features. Okay. So it will be an online provision with online support. They will not be live face-to-face, also because of the time different, the zone, etc. Okay. So there's a slightly scaled down version for the international market, which is online. Okay. So I'm negotiating for a very special price. And because of Dr. Vivian's involvement with the homeschool that we want to support and encourage, all right, I'm finalizing a very, very good price for you all to take it up, which I would finalize with, Dr. Vivian from the 7,295 for your, what you call that, secondary. And for the primary, it is about £3,000. I'm going to bring that down to maybe £600 a year. Around that 600, 700 maximum. If I can bring it even further down, I'll be happy, right, to give that, I will discuss further with, what you call that, Dr. Vivian, right, on that. Just to give you an idea, it's very affordable. It's very affordable.
I have to say that Professor Chan is have a very good heart to help the homeschool association in Hong Kong, and want to help the homeschool family in China. And now we found homeschool family in Macau. So we are here, all here to help. We would use our connection with the international suppliers, international top education company, professors around the world to help to empower our society and make homeschool education affordable to everyone. This is our dream, our goal. And we are doing.
Dr. Vivian, we've got some questions on the chat from Dion. Dion, maybe you can help to answer some of them.
I couldn't hear very clearly because your sounds like come with some noises.
Right. We've got some questions in the chat group. Maybe you can
Question.
answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw in the chat, looking forward to the price. Yeah, we'll fix that as soon as possible. All right, and get back to you.
Yeah, 我们会告诉你的，不要担心。陈教授其实和那个供应商是很熟的，他们所有外国的大供应商很尊重陈教授，陈教授因为他在教育界的地位，所以有他在这里帮助我们，你不用担心。我们期待是600英镑一年，对不对？600 pounds per year。在英国本土是7200英镑一年，所以我们会尽我们的努力，把那个价钱压到最低，你们可以很容易的去afford， 所以不用担心，有我跟陈教授在，我們是全心全意的幫你們的，所以不用擔心。至於個價錢方面咧，大家唔需要擔心，我好快會話俾你聽。記住 connect 我喺嗰個 chat 上面咧係有我嘅電話，喺 WeChat 嗰度加我。咁係對的，是6000英鎊 6000人民币一年，所以是很便宜的一个价钱。我们尽量看看可以做得更好吗？不用擔心，所以不用擔心。同埋咧，嗰個價錢方面咧，喺英國本土係7200英鎊一年嘅。咁透過陳教授，因為陳教授喺全世界教育界嘅地位係好強嘅，咁亦都係我最尊敬嘅教授老師。咁佢會盡佢用自己嘅能力同supplier 傾偈，希望壓到600英鎊或者更低嘅價錢。去幫助 homeschool family， 所以大家唔需要擔心嘅。記住喺嗰個喺個 check 嗰度，我頭先已經俾咗我WeChat 嘅號碼同埋WhatsApp 嘅號碼，加我喺 WeChat 或者 WhatsApp 加我 connect 我，咁就我再俾further 嘅信息大家，所以大家唔需要擔心價錢，我哋會盡我哋喺教育界嘅能力去幫大家嘅。陳教授，我 Dr. Medina 都喺度幫緊 homeschool family， 我哋只有一個客係協助你哋，幫你哋成功，小朋友開開心心，唔單止學業成功啊！我真係唔贊成呢樣嘢，開心行先，開心快樂咁成長，加埋學業成功達到social 嘅 requirement， 進上大學。All right， 我在這裡的目的就是用我們的在教育界的力量 ，Professor Chan 支持我們 ，Dr. Martina 支持我們，去全心全意的幫助 homeschool family 的小朋友快樂的成長，不只是學業成功，快樂是我最關注的一樣東西，快樂的。加上學業成功的成長，可以進去大學，這是我們要做的，我們想做的東西，也是我們在這裡全心全意幫助你們的東西，所以你們不用擔心，一點也不用擔心。價錢方面，我們會用我們的connection 去幫你們的。
There are 4 questions that have been posted. I will tackle that. So the first question, which country does that platform base? It is UK. All the teachers, all they want is UK certified. Right? In the UK, before you can teach, you have got to be qualified. You have got to go through a government approach teachers training qualification before you can actually teach either face-to-face, online, etc. Okay, so that takes care of, all right? Any books or practicum be provided? The online system there, they got 17,000 lesson plan. They have got full, all right, teaching, learning notes. They have got the right education TV, all right, the programs. It is better than your Pearson where they give you just text. Okay, no trial lessons, but you can go in and take a look. All right, at what the platform, all right, offer. All right, I can arrange for a demo access. Log in, you can go and explore that. All right, before you make the decision. In which stage the actual teacher will intervene for improvement. As I said, you have got real time, feedback of how your students see. The problem with the traditional way of teaching is when the student actually do the assignment or the homework, okay? The teacher will take time to actually mark it, all right, and give the feedback to the student. It can be 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, depending on how efficient the teacher is and how committed. With the AI, right, the system, it is instant. The moment they have finished and submit, they will grade and give the feedback. And if you have a teacher monitoring, you go in, you can actually see the feedback, and then you can plan how, all right, what kind of intervention, is required.
There's a question asking about the platform. What is the typical age student starting learning from the platform? Professor Chen, do you have this piece of information?
No, as if we understand, if you know the UK education system, there are 4 stages, all right, depending on your year. So they have got the early years, foundation, then you have got your primary, then you have got your secondary, then you have got your post-secondary, then you have got your universities, etc. The system catered, all right, for those from, in terms of your school curriculum, they call it year 1 to year 12. Year 1, basically from 5 years old. From 5 years old. Okay, so basically, what they have is in the UK system, from 5 years old to 11 years old, you are in the primary, where they have what you call your key stage 1. And all right, key stage 2 will be from 7 to 11 years old. Okay, and then they have what you call your standard assessment test to see whether they have achieved in those level of education. Then from years 11 to 16, then you're in the secondary, all right, school for age 11 to 14 years old, where they would, basically be, covering, the lower secondary level. Then they go into your key stage 4, which is from 14 to 16, where they do your IGCSE or O levels. So it caters right up to your A levels. Meaning to say it caters for those from 5 years old right up to 16. If you want to stop at your IGCSE O levels and you want to move on to your A levels, it caters to those age up to 18 in the UK system.
Professor Chen, there's another question from Joy. So after finish it, would there any finish a certain course? Would they any certificate issued by the
No. There's no point. There's no point for you to get I mean, they can give you a letter say you have completed this level, but it doesn't carry weight. At the end of the day, when you go to the employment market, when you go to the higher education, institution, they want certification by the recognized examination body. So it's whether the Cambridge, whether it's going to be Pearson and Edison, whether it's going to be AQA, or whether it's going to be Oxford. So as you emphasize, they have been posting and say, you need to go, all right, and sit for your IGCSE. You must get the certificate. You must go and sit for the A levels and get the certificate. These are the recognized international passport for you to get into, all right, universities globally.
Because homeschool students, they don't have a record there. If they study through your course, they want to have a record keeping.
We can arrange for a testimonial or a letter of completion. We can arrange for that because they are in government approved. They can say this is confirmed that these students from what with this and identity what has fully completed the year 1 to whatever between this period of time. That's not a big issue. That's something that we can add on as an additional service on request.
So this is because Professor Chen has the power to negotiate.
Not the power, not the power.
No, don't be humble. Don't be humble. Without
run.
your help, it won't be. So thrive our homeschool community is actually start with Professor Chen because he supervised my 2 homeschool research paper. He is a great supporter for homeschool community. He will do his best to help us, so don't worry about it. So for that letter, it states that you complete your certain course or certain stage of study, and that would be a very big favor to help you to prove to schools if you want to transit back to the schools or university that what you have studied in your homeschool curriculum. So this is a very good thing. Fantastic. Thank you, Professor Chen.
Okay, basically, if we are from China, all right, China had got the Great Wall of China, all right. You also have the Sibel Great Wall. A lot of the non-Chinese, entities on the cyberspace, very often they have been blocked. All right, from mainland China, if you go through the normal what you call system, whether you use your Baidu or whatever that is, you may not be able to access efficiently. You can still access, but it will not be smooth. The international schools, in China, they actually have some special arrangement whereby they are able to actually gain the access. Okay, one way is actually through Hong Kong. If there is a server and a website from Hong Kong, and if we host it there and link it, mainland China or a user can actually bypass that. This one I'll talk to Chance in more detail.
Yeah, we will try to solve the problem for you. Don't worry about it. We have another homeschool educator, Chance. He's specialized in this. So, Chance, are you there? Maybe he has just left. Chance was here as well. So don't worry. We will do that for you. So don't worry about it. All right? You will figure out all your problems, help you to solve all the problems. 其他有没有你可以用普通话问，也可以，或者你用廣東話問都可以嘅。如果有聽唔明英文嘅，隨時問我，我喺度幫你哋解答問題。Professor Chan 其實識聽廣東話嘅，識講廣東話嘅。
麻麻地啦，勉強都可以嘅。
humble 呢啲就係 great professor， 成功嘅人士會好 humble 嘅。Professor Chan 係 show 緊話俾你聽，謙虛中國人。係。
你好，想問下咧嗰個即係如果嗰個學歷關於即係呢個 class， 即係會唔會係即係頭先講係淨係 for UK 但係或者如果係考大學，可能係會其他嘅，譬如係 US 啊或者係 Australia 嗰邊都可能會考嘅，會唔會有即係有啲咩影響或者係幫助咧？我都唔係好了解。
呢個係冇問題嘅，呢個你攞呢個 IGCSE 係國際recognize 嘅，即係承認全世界。
其實全世界最認可嘅，因為好多年歷史嘅英國嘅 IGCSE 係 IGCSE A level。點解我比較咗咁多嘅curriculum？ 我自己係做比較嘅，我唔會話是但 pick 一個curriculum 去俾我女女學習。我都要講成功目的地大學。咁 IB 一定唔啱噶啦，因為 IB 20% 校本評估，佢冇學校，所以唔啱。OK，IB 其實都唔錯嘅，但係 IB 嘅歷史係其實好新嘅啫。OK， 記得當年大約20年前，啲人study IB 嘅時候都走過嚟問我，哎呀呢個好新嘅呢個課程，好唔好俾自己嘅仔女去讀咧 ？International School 嘅老師問我呢樣嘢，所以但係佢係的確係做得好好嘅，近幾年。OK， 但另外一個一直都好 powerful 嘅大學認可嘅 exam 就係 IGCSE 同埋 A level， 係全世界認可嘅，所以係無需擔心，同埋佢嘅 flexibility 係好強嘅。假設你小朋友係普通嘅小朋友，學歷唔係好強勁，佢係啱你嘅，因為你可以選科，選自己中意讀嘅科目。OK， 當然英文數學必讀啦。咁到咗上咗 A level， 英文係唔需要讀嘅，唔會睇你英文嘅，所以唔好浪費時間去睇做英文。數學係必須要強嘅一科。咁你考大學，佢只要求你 IGCSE 嗰張英文已經足夠噶啦。OK，同埋當你考 A level 係大學最主要睇嘅。再解釋一次 ，IGCSE 你當係香港舊制會考嘅同等嘅學歷，中五畢業 A level 就係以前香港舊制中七嘅畢業證書。所以當你用 A level 進入大學嘅時候，你係有個絕對優勢喺度，你會得到香港大學或者外國大學學分豁免嘅。假設佢係4年制大學，正如我女兒咁樣，佢唔單止早入大學，佢亦都得 到大學學分豁免，所以佢比 DSE 嘅學生係讀少好多科嘅。So for the A level, IGCSE is just like in the past, the Form 5 graduate in Hong Kong back to 12 years ago without DSE. DSE actually is not something old system exists in Hong Kong. 12, 13 years, that's all about DSE. The O is Form 5 graduate, and you got O-level certificate, which is equivalent, exactly equivalent IGCSE. And then you will have Form 7 A-level, which is now A-level. So, and that's A-level is the most recognized IGCSE entrance exam in the world, okay? And if you, right now, using the A-level to enter into the university in Hong Kong, you will get exemption, okay? Some of the subject you don't need to study, like my daughter. Besides, she entered at the university at the age of 15. She also got benefit, which is DSE student cannot get it. That is exempt some of the subject at the university level. So my daughter studied less subject than the DSE student.
Dr. Vivian, right. I think we have another question in the chat room.
Okay. 我如果唔想女兒一定要有學歷，可以嗎？其實是可以的。如果你不想他有一個學歷，我經常跟你說一樣東西，就是當我教小朋友的時候，最重要對我來說不是學歷，是開心。如果你的小朋友連小朋友的童年也沒有，熱情也沒有，開心也沒有，就算我們教出一個學霸，那是機器人，不是小朋友。所以這個是開心放先是絕對是很重要的。一個人能夠持續下去，開心持續生活下去，開心，一個有愛的家庭，一個有熱情的心是很重要的。基於學歷，為什麼我要做這個過程？因為它還是要在社會生存的。我在我的education pendulum theory， 這是我 create 的 theory 裡面說過，右手邊就是現在的壓力窩教育，當那個 pendulum 右手邊的時候，小朋友是不開心的，很多小朋友有那個 mental problem， 有那個精神病的，這是不行的。那小朋友不健康，將來也是他要走的那個能力也是有限制的，就算現在他是學霸也是沒用的，那個壓力窩的最後的那個病狀會出現的。然後左手邊，然後那很多父母見到孩子這麼壓力，就是走上左手邊，我要完全開心，讓我的小朋友沒有那個學校的壓力，所以就是沒有學技的那個方向也是不行的，因為究竟你的小朋友還是要在社會裏面生存，你也要他達到某一個社會的要求，所以我走到中間去找那個 equilibrium， 我跟我女兒是找到那個 equilibrium， 開心加學歷同等在一樣，也不卷。我經常跟你們說在家教育有一個好處，就是 personalized teaching。如果你是一個很好的老師，很有經驗的老師，像我一樣，其實每天我教我女兒的時間只是星期一到星期五，星期六、星期一、星期天是放假，沒有讀書的情況在的，還有星期一到星期五，我最多教他2個小時，已經把整個學校8個小時、10個小時的東西教完了，他是很有效率的去學習的。還有他沒有功課，我不給功課， 这就是 personalized learning 的强劲之处。还有沒有其他問題啊？仲有冇？
Dr. Vivian，我諗可能你俾少少 idea 佢哋咧，係如果呢個 IGCSE 啦，係最少要 take 幾多科，又或者考 A level 個 minimum requirement，等佢哋有少少 idea，即係話唔係淨係幾多個鐘去讀書，而係或者幾多個 subject 佢哋嘅小朋友去 tackle，會唔會比較 factual 少少？
可以可以。嗰個我用普通話啦，因為其實香港人都懂普通話嘅，我用普通話講，然之後用英文講，好唔 OK？咁那個 IGCSE 你應該應該讀5科到最少5科 ，OK？As a homeschool student 最少5科，如果你想我有興趣讀多一點，7科、8科、9科。不用多過9科了，夠了。然後這已經達到學校的大學的要求。然後 A level 是大學要看的，收不收你的，最終決定。你不是只考 IGCSE 那是不夠的。可是你讀完 IGCSE 之後，你的底就是你的根底是不是很強？再讀那個 A level。A level 其實在那個國際學校是2年制的，再讀 A level 你就是很容易的上去 A level。A level 其實香港的大學要求3科選3科，英文是不要的，你讀英文也沒用的。最好是數學其實也是分出3科。數學有普通數學。所有的學生要讀的，還有中間的比較新一點的就叫 pure math， 還有最新的你的能力最強，你的微積分很好，further math。 數學也可以分3科獨立的科目的。其實如果你數學好，你希望將來是讀那個理工科，你可以考2科的數學。我女兒選了普通數學，還有選了最難的 further math， 所以她的數學能力是很強的，因為她很喜歡數學。她的微積分我叫她是深度的微積分，還有她選了物理，還有她選了經濟學，數學2科，物理經濟學。所以他考了4科，他的成績是 2A 2B， 所以完全是超越大學的要求，因為大學當時是3科，只要求3科，可是我女兒考了4科。Actually, for the IGCSE course for homeschool student, you take about 5 subjects. If you wanted more, 5 subjects, let's say I say 5 to 9. That is maximum, okay? Depending on what you like. But English and math is one of the subjects you have to take it for IGCSE level, all right? Actually, math in IGCSE also have further and pure math. Means what is further and pure math? For student good at calculus to study. My daughter also studied IGCSE further and pure math. So her mathematics is very strong, all right? And after you study further and pure math in IGCSE, actually it's quite equivalent, those kind of curriculum, quite equivalent to A level, P1 to P4. P1 to P4, that means the normal mathematics. Okay? You don't think IGCSE is the only course that the university require you to submit your application. Please don't have this misunderstanding. I see a lot of homeschool educator in Hong Kong has this misunderstanding. It's untrue. You won't have competitive power. All right? You take IGCSE as a path to firm your foundation. IGCSE is equivalent to the old system, Hong Kong old system, O level. We have Form 5 graduate. Okay? And then Form 6, Form 7, that is called A level. Usually, university required 3 subjects A level. So English do not count into A level, so you don't need it. Your Form 5 certificate English is enough. So on A level, you can pick mathematics or math itself divided into 3 A level subjects. It has the general mathematics, it has the pure mathematics, which is in the middle difficulty, and have further mathematics, which is the most tough for the smartest student. And that time, my daughter took the further math, all right? And it involved advanced calculus. And my daughter that year, actually university requests 3 subjects, but my daughter took 4 subjects. Math, further math, and also physics, and also economics. So she got 2A, 2B, and that she good enough to enter into the university at the age of 15. About Chinese, right? You don't like Chinese, you don't worry about it. When you go for international student, A-level student, you don't need Chinese. My daughter's first language is English, and she doesn't like Chinese. One of the reasons she all of the traditional school, primary school, because she hates writing Chinese. If her hand when writing, her physical is not there. Here is very big and painful. So I talked with the teacher, useless, and even show my daughter the finger. Every time when she write intensive Chinese writing, her finger is pain. So cannot submit the daily homework, Chinese homework every day. So, but useless, cannot talk, okay? Because they use one size fit all method to teach. So that is another reason she got out of the school, homeschool her. Okay, when you go for university, they don't request Chinese, so don't worry about it. Chinese, after primary 4, my daughter did not study Chinese with me at all. Just she's in a Chinese environment, her speaking is no problem. And when go into the university, you will learn Chinese. And since you are using the IGCSE and A-level enter in, they will be putting you into the Western study Chinese group. So it won't be difficult, so don't worry about it. OK? 就是那个中文不喜欢中文没有问题，因为我当初我女儿退学也是因为她不喜欢中文，她写字的时候她的手肿，她的 physical 没有发展的这么好，每个小朋友都是独特的，他的发展也是不同的。所以他每次做功课的时候，他的手是很痛的，他也是坚持，可是这样坚持是没用的，因为痛嘛，你每天还是要写他的手指痛的很厉害。我跟老师说，老师也不理解，还是要每天做很多的中文功课，所以我女儿真的哭了，也没有解决不了这个问题。所以其中一个退学的原因就是他不喜欢，那个时候不喜欢写这么多的学校的中文功课这是其中退出的一个原因在 IGCSE 你可以学中文没有问题，那是很简单的中文，鬼佬去考中文，那个中文程度是很简单的。所以如果你在香港读到6年级，你去考那个IGCSE 中文，你一定拿最高分 A， 所以不用担心。你补考也可以，因为如果你用那个British 那个英国的课程进去大学，他们是不会要求你有中文的，所以不学中文也可以。然后上去大学你会有中文科目的，可是因为你是透过国际系统进去大学，所以你的中文就是会放在外国人学中文的那个 group 里面，所以是很简单的，所以不用担心，这不是一个问题。还有仲有冇其他問題啊？ Is there any further question？ 不用謝，很開心是可以幫到你們，作業很好。
想问一下，就是说，刚刚你说 A level 是比较重要嘛？最重要是他最终可能要选择考3科，还是多少科，还是最多9科嘛？你的建议是不是？然后
那
就是是
IGCSE，那是 IGCSE，A level 不，大学不要你这样，你有一点 confuse，就是IGCSE 等于中五毕业，是打下你的根基去 A level。如果你是 homeschool 的学生，你一定要学 IGCSE，因为给到大学看到你不是走那个shortcut。去考那个 A level，现在为什么这么多问题出现？就是因为中国很多的那个脱产的那个机构用那个A level 去报那个香港的大学，可是他们没有老师，很多就是作弊，还有没有那个 IGCSE，所以这个过程我是不希望在 homeschool 家庭里面出现。现在其实大学也看着这个问题很重视这个问题，因为如果你考那个A level 是，我也是会提议你在香港考。在中国今年是独立出卷，为什么独立出卷？因为太多人作弊了。连英国的考试局也怕了，可是独立出卷也是解决不到这个问题。那个考试前1个小时，那个答案那个试卷已经在小红书满天飞，这代表什么？没有那个 credibility， 没有那个信用在。所以如果你要考试的时候，我会跟你们说，我们homeschool 家庭到香港来考，香港是不会作弊的。那因为你的考试那个成绩单里面会出现你的考试那个 center， 那是考试的中心在哪里？那个收你的大学那群人会看那个你的学业诚信是很重要的。我希望在家教育的所有学生坚守那个学业诚信，为我们在家教育建立一个很好的诚信在。那我就以后可以直接跟大学的收生的人去说，我们有这个在家教育的家庭我们是守诚信的，我们不走那个 shortcut，让他们看到我们的努力。
想问一下，就是 IGCSE 是要预备这个要大概要多长时间，或者是因为我大的女儿现在是13岁嘛，然后
是时候读了。
对啊，就要开始去计划，就是分阶段来读什么啊，应该去预备了嘛，是不是啊？
其实IGCSE 是2年的课程。如果真的学生在那个国际学校去准备这个考试，14到16岁，16岁就考那个 IGCSE。可是这个 at class 是 personalized teaching， 我相信会更快的，是 depend on 你的女儿那个学习能力，他会跟着那个 AI 跟着去调教那个能力，可能是更快，所以不用担心。我永远跟你说 one size fit all， 那个教育方法，学校的教育方法是慢的，因为它是用中纬的线去教你的。如果中轨知识在这里，有些学生可能他的根基是在这里。你看这个 learning gap 是这么多，你讲什么，老师讲什么，那个学生就不懂，因为他不懂，没有兴趣，就是这个原因。我看到太多这个问题出现。其实我有教很多的中国的学生，最近有一个 case 到我这里，其他老师没办法教，就是我教。他在中国的那个国际学校读了 很多年，现在刚满17岁，你知道他的程度在哪里吧？他的数学程度，我要开始教他的就是5年级的课程，因为他是连基本的 linear equation 那个怎么去 transpose 他不懂，他的英语要他读 for taking IGCSE should take English as a first language 不懂，看不懂。可是他在国际学校，中国的国际学校一直读书读到14岁，不懂，因为什么？每天回到国际学校听不懂，睡觉，老师也不理。问他是不是只有你一个学生是这样？不是，很多学生是这样，那就是 one size fit all 教育方法。他来到我这里，我用 personalized 方法去教他，2个月把他的数学从5年班，现在是中3、中4的程度。他从厌学到每天很开心跟我读书，因为他懂吗？我把他的 learning gap 全都没有了，他学的东西就是我要教的东西，所以他的热情回来了。这是很重要的。你教的学生听不懂，为什么还要逼他继续在听不懂的东西里面背？就是要达到你的要求，这是没有意义的。我这样跟你说吧，我跟我女儿小学4年级就没有读完小学4年级没有读，然后她然后在4年多一点吧，加买她上大学的时间，我是这样加的 ，OK 其实我们头2年经常去外国world schooling 所以其实整个 IGCSE 加 A level 的时间，我们只用了4年，他就考上大学。今年同他同一起读小学的学生考 DSE， 如果他考到的话，如果他考到的话，因为他很多的师姐师兄考不到香港的8大。如果他们考到的话，他们明年9月进大学，然后明年就是大一。明年我女儿已经大学毕业了，他们进大学，我女儿毕业，就是因为我们有勇气走出了那个社会卷的圈子，然后 homeschool， 所以我们有今天的成就。Do I need to use English to translate? So actually for the IGCSE, once again, it's not the pure way for going to the university, but it's giving you a track record for saying that you have studied every day. Okay, so it's a must to take 5 to 9 subjects. That's enough. No need to get more than 9 subjects. Actually, 8 is quite enough. Okay. And then after that, and you take A level. A level is the main indicator for the university to accept you, but they will look at your track record for the IGCSE as well. So IGCSE is a must take, showing that you are not staying at home doing nothing. You have a curriculum to follow, and also firm your foundation for going to the A level study. Okay. And about the timing, how long does it take? My daughter studied until the end of primary 4. And then we use including get into the university. And we actually got the offer letter. She got the offer letter on January. That was when she was 14. We already know she will be in the university. But when the university start is September, so that would be 14. So I always count my daughter entered into the university at the age of 14. So The first 2 years, we went world schooling. We travel a lot. World schooling is a part of our curriculum. The first 2 years of her homeschooling. And then later we settled down for the homeschooling, focus on the IGCSE. Let's say I still don't want to tell you 2 years to finish IGCSE and A level. Okay, you can. She homeschooled for 4 years, and so 4 years time for pass all the A level and IGCSE to enter into the university. So you have a timing in there. Personalized teaching can be very quick, very efficient. Once you can find the passion of your children, they will be happy for learning. It's not suffering like studying at the traditional school, because we are the teacher teaching at the average level. A lot of students in this level do not understand what the teacher teaching. That's why they feel suffering every day, and you feel suffer too, because you need to supervise your kids' homework at home. Actually, the burden already, the society already put all the burden to the parent. That's why the same happened in Hong Kong. That's why the parent unhappy. I'm in this field for so many years, decades. I understand the situation both in Hong Kong and China so well. Any other question? 还有没有其他问题？这里也有没有 homeschool 过的的家长，如果有什么問題問我，歡迎你哋問問題，亦都有喺Good Happy 嗰啲 parent， 佢哋係從來冇homeschool 嘅經驗，如果有咩問題，歡迎問。我哋係一個好 supportive 嘅 community。再一次強調，我唔係勸你哋離開教育嘅系統，進入 homeschool。homeschool 同教育嘅系統係共用嘅。咁假設你係覺得真係仔女覺得唔開心，我接到太多 call， 日日都接到 call， 啲父母對住我喊，講佢哋喺傳統教育裏面係幾唔開心，俾人 bully 啊，呢度父母都有 call 過我嘅。咁或者係跟唔上啊，或者一聽到返學就嘔啦。咁嗰個女女其實係好大壓力，好想返學，但係佢又唔中意返學，但係於是又覺得自己錯，覺得自己精神有問題，唔啱㗎，佢冇問題㗎，只不過係學校個教育係攞中位線教育，所以佢係跟唔上，所以佢拒絕。你都唔中意做嗰樣嘢，你逼都冇用㗎。假設你榴蓮，假設Professor Chan， 我知你榴蓮唔代表馬來西亞。假設你唔中意食榴蓮，我媽咪日日逼你食榴蓮，你開唔開心？唔開心，小朋友唔開心。因為出邊個人都中意食榴蓮，所以可能啲同學仔個個都中意食榴蓮，所以佢個心諗係咪我錯咧？我唔食榴蓮係咪我錯咧？我唔中意食榴蓮係咪我錯咧？佢冇錯。佢係唔中意，每個人嘅中意都唔同嘅，所以佢嗰個小朋友，我成日同佢媽咪講，個小朋友係冇精神問題，唔好送佢精神病院，唔好 label 佢，佢係冇問題嘅，佢係個正常嘅學生，只不過喺學校真係達唔到佢要求，每日返學一諗返學佢就嘔，唔係佢嘅錯，等佢揾到佢嘅 passion。homeschool 係一個好嘅，俾佢退出個制度，俾佢個腦，俾佢嘅心休養嘅機會，醫好咗個腦，開開心心醫好個 confidence， 呢個小朋友前途無量。唔好教育唔係將你社會嘅規範或者將你嘅規範強加喺個小朋友度，要個小朋友去認可你，咁就叫成功教育。唔係，我哋教育係幫小朋友揾到佢嘅 passion， 揾到佢嘅心，當佢嘅心同佢嘅 passion 連結起埋一齊，佢會好願意讀書，好願意去追求自己嘅生命所想追求嘅目標，亦都會令到你好 proud 嘅佢嘅成就，將來會呢個就係真正教育嘅意義。
係唔該晒 Doctor Lai，請問聽唔聽到我講嘢？因為我頭先 set 個咪 set 咗好耐，唔該晒。多謝 Professor Chan 啦，跟住又多謝Doctor Lai 啦。咁其實咧，我係有一個問題嘅，因為我一路做啲功課去了解 IGCSE 嘅時候咧，咁我就見到有2科英文，一科咧就係 English as First Language， 另一科咧就係 English as Second Language。咁好似我哋呢啲 local 家庭啦，爹哋媽咪都係 local 嘅人，咁其實我哋嘅母語就係廣東話啦。咁我哋如果要同阿女 take 一科嘅時候，我哋應該要 take first language 啊，定係 take second language 咧？有啲咩唔同咧
？second language English as a second language 就俾好弱嗰啲人去考嘅，所以唔好 take 嗰個。University 亦都唔會俾 preference 呢一個 second language 嘅。咁 first language 難唔難咧？唔難嘅，我俾個曲你啊。等下俾個曲你考呢一張 paper 啊。唔難嘅，係容易過香港嘅 DSE 嘅。香港嘅 DSE 太多題嘅，你做極都做唔切。呢個有個技巧去考嘅。如果你到時遇到問題嘅時候問我啊，我教你嘅技巧嚇，唔難嘅，比較喺 DSE 更容易。Take first language。
好啊好啊，唔該晒 Doctor Lai， 唔該。
你喺嗰個 WhatsApp app 我，然之後我俾個曲你啊，因為原來我本來想 share screen 去揾會 close 咗呢一個嘅。OK， 睇下得唔得？睇下得唔得？我俾個曲你。4EB1 4EB1 考呢份卷。4EB1 考 IGCSE 呢份卷，其實你可以 combine IGCSE 同 Cambridge 嘅。咁我就我就 prefer IGCSE， 因為 IGCSE 其實係更適合homeschool 嘅 student 嘅，因為我係比較過所有嘢。咁Cambridge 係冇問題嘅，就算你 study 呢個course mainly on Cambridge， 其實兩個係相通嘅，所以係冇問題嘅。只不過揀邊一個考試係配合你小朋友，你可以 mix both 亦都得嘅，因為兩個都係國際recognize。其實 Cambridge 係 more likely on 本土嘅人嘅時候，其實 international 嘅 student take more，OK？或者 homeschool 嘅 student 其實更適合 IGCSE。OK， 你可以 combine both 一樣，大學認可一樣嘅，你可以一啲係 Cambridge， 一啲係 IGCSE。你 study 呢個 course 就算佢 on Cambridge， 但最終完咗之後做翻啲 IGCSE 卷係一樣嘅，因為個程度一樣嘅，所以唔需要擔心呢個問題。仲有冇其他問題啊？
可以聊聊吗？就是
可以，绝对可以。
我很想聊，因为我很感谢，就是你在微信就给我很多支持，就是我在大陆要受到的挑战啊，包括家庭啊，包括我女儿现在7岁1年级，然后我做这个决定，因为我们幼儿园就不怎么去了，然后1年级时候她在学校1天回来就直接就整个人就傻掉，就她就不开心，非常不开心。她会问我说为什么要罚站别的同学，为什么老师不允许她动？然后我听了，就是我刚刚说写字什么，你说你女儿可以先不用写字，但是我又很想她好中文，因为我觉得中文也很美，就是所以我会有焦虑。但是我一听你的，包括你说四年就把她教的那么好，就可以就是上大学，我真的是很受鼓舞。虽然我没有那么就是detail 到这个教，因为我也是教中英文的阅读的老师，就是我没有到这，就我是很宏大的，就我觉得带她博物馆、图书馆，给她有 passion， 然后她喜欢这样，她自己学习，所以她挂着公立学校，但她作业都是 A 满分，就是她其实作业啊、语数，包括数学那个代数数学，第一次就是老师说超棒，1小时就17道全对，就她给我的这个结果是坚定说，我要继续给她鼓励，然后支持，让她很自由的、自主的学习。当然我也会说，有一点焦虑，说她写字有点，后来你说没有关系。还有我说她 我是很赶，我说以后没学历也没问题，反正他可以跟我一起做生意啊，或者 anyway 就是去做他热爱的，他设计做得很好，他喜欢画画，喜欢设计，我觉得就是有很多的可能性，所以我想，哎，我想很想有更多的，就是您能指导，或者说有机会，甚至线下的，然后如果在上海或者在香港，就是可以见面啊，一起学习。然后我女儿如果她想要去上好的大学，因为我在国内，我觉得很多教授还是太学术，我不喜欢。那如果她有喜欢的，比如说香港的或者美国的大，她想去的话，能不能那个时候就像您今天说的 IGCSE 还有 A Level 能支持她，就是她想的时候她也可以去。哎，他不想他没问题，他可以，他现在就是工作。其实我的客人都很喜欢他，就说这个助教这个眉墨很棒，然后超级好，就是他已经很有成就感，然后他画画也画的超好，就是然后他学术其实也很强，他英语也很好，就其实这些我觉得我还是很开心的。所以我觉得在迷茫的黑暗中，就是你有一个光给我们，就给我还有我的朋友，然后我觉得我会继续下去，就是我不愿意的东西就是不去，然后我自己也有焦虑的。我们俩前段时间就吵架，就是不太开。他说我觉得母女关系不好，他说妈妈，因为我1年级啦，你让我写字啦，就是我们感情超好。但他说妈妈，你现在让我写字了，我不喜欢写中文字。然后他画的很好，他喜欢每一个都写的有创意，所以就是真的是很 challenge。然后学术上我自己也觉得哎那些走，然后看你说哎4年，对4年能够做到这个15岁就是念
怎么没看？你说楼下吗？Janet 可以把那个May
星3519。
等一下，我把他的那个麦克风 mute 了。怎么这不太熟？等一下，等一下，看不到他，看不到他现在。没问题了，没问题，他没有讲，没问题了。
对对对，其实我觉得很想说说，虽然说我想老师说嘛，我也想说，就是我这个过程是很长远的。我觉得我想我女儿将来做一个开心的，她能够自己生存的，她有对世界永远终身学习有热情的一个孩子。就是我也是这样的孩子，我觉得她也要这样的人。所以我觉得当中的这个学不学历，我不是他不要学习，他一定要他什么天文地理啊，什么自然，他很喜欢他，就是我觉得他有这个东西最重要。然后那个是一个我也很惊喜嘛，第一次去，然后老师就说，哎，你女儿3月份可以考代数，我说啊，我们第一次来培训都没有上课就可以考试，他说对啊，他很厉害啊。他很棒啊，就是我这些成果其实都是在收获的，所以我就很温馨。然后我看到你给了我力量，说，哎，但是你很强，因为你有教那些我不会嘛，就是我教的是很想象启发那种的。我想，哎呀，如果我女儿可以，你有的时候帮帮她，或者跟她玩玩，或者我不知道你们费用怎么样，就是，哎，那她是不是可以点拨一下？她因为自己都能学，她一学，我们去看展都自己看纪录片的，她看美剧，英文听不懂，Wednesday 中文八遍听完，8集自己干完，就是她是一个有毅力想学东西自己都能学的孩子，就是我觉得这些品质都是我认可，我觉得就是我想达到的目标。
那个我理解你说的话，这是很好。如果他开心，这是很重要的。我也很开心，我能够成为你们黑暗里面的一道光，这是我想做的，我会继续去做。那个IGCSE 有一个好处，就是它有很多科目，读你觉得可以给到他教育的科目，还有他觉得很有信心的科目，那就是选科的一个重点。我自己有一样不行的，音乐不行的，我很喜欢音乐，可是我是五音不全的，所以我不会浪费我的时间金钱去请那个音乐老师去教我女儿，因为那不是我的强项。如果你想一下，不是你的强项，你还是要你女儿在这方面达到什么国际水平什么？你看那个钱，你要榨进去的钱，你不是看1年2年，你是看很久，榨进去多少钱？我不会在那个社会讲这个，所以我没有教我女儿音乐上 YouTube 去学，跟专家 YouTube 的那个专家去学就可以了。我没有教过他音乐，所以我也有我的弱点。我是人，不是神，我知道怎么去分配资源 一个很好的消息，我告诉你，我从来没有用过1分钱教育的钱，只有你要说是教育的钱，就是考那个 IGCSE 考试钱 A level 的考试钱，没有，他没有补习，所有科目是我教的，也没有去买外面的书本，因为所有题目就是我为他 personalize 个人定制的，所以没有人赚到我的钱。他的学费没有用过，退了学校之后没有用过1分钱。
厉害厉害，
根据你的能力，还有你女儿的 passion 去选那个科目，不要去卷，不要跟那个普通人去卷，不要找到他最 passion 的东西就已经够了，找到用你自己最有能力教的科目去教就够了。我现在我经常跟你说，我跟 Professor Chan 都是在这里帮助你的。Professor Chan 是一个很有爱心的教授，也是 connection 很强的教授。我们会用我们的努力把最好的课程给你们的，用最便宜的价钱。你看看2000英镑的价钱，它可以压到600英镑。这是只有 Professor Chan 可以做到的。所以我们就是在这里帮助你们的，不用担心。
好的，
你记得在那个微信里面加我，那我们可以私聊。你来香港的时候我们可以谈，我去香港的时候我也会找你，好不好？其他在家教育的家长也可以这样做的，在微信还有在那个 WeChat 加我，我在这里给光你们，不用担心。
好的，好，
还有没有其他问题？
Vivian, Dr. Vivian.
Yes.
There's a question about what's the minimum amount of time we can spend on the platform to do, like if we wanted to limit screen time for our children, what's the minimum amount of time we can use for like the testing and there's a question on, let me read that question for you. So maybe I'm getting it wrong.
Can you turn on your video? At least let us see you when you speaking. So it's more close in that way. Get a personalized touch.
Okay, so the question Michelle asked was, for those not interested in using online platforms daily in order to limit screen time, what is the minimum time one could use EdClass to evaluate learning gaps, take the IGCSE, and then again identify A-level exam readiness? Where do students write the IGCSE exams and A-level exams?
Professor Chen?
Now, the key to the system, right, is we use the word personalized, learning. Okay, remember there are two, ways that you can use the system. You can follow a standard structured, all right. You want to call it a timetable, kind of approach, which is used by the normal school system. Or you can actually suit it to your own, independent learning, depending on your, capacity, your ability. If you follow the standard, kind of prescription, which is for the normal school system, you might take 1 year to complete, the year 5, all the subjects. But you don't actually need to be conforming to, that timeline, depending on your child. All right, like you take the case of Paris, Dr. Vivian Lai's daughter, okay? They are able to do it much faster. All right, so the time is up to you, but what you want to do is make use of the progress assessment to gauge your readiness. So you go through and then you go through the assessment, you test yourself, and then you say, I have tried the IGCSE, maths and all that. And, you want to call it a mock exam or whatever it is. I think I'm ready to go for it. Then you sign up. You don't need to follow a fixed timetable. That's the advantage of the whole system.
Yeah, Professor Chan, we get you a free trial. If you are interested in the program, you don't need to make the decision right now. The most important thing is the system fit your child and your child love it. And this is, we are here to find the right system for your kid.
I can't give a free trial, but I can give a demo where they can access
okay.
and have a...
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a second PowerPoint that I have. There will be a lot of YouTube videos about class, how to do it, and give you sample lessons which are conducted by UK trained, teachers and all that. All right, I will send it to what you call that, Dr. Vivian. Then she can actually share with you.
还有其他问题吗? Is there any question? Cantonese, Mandarin, English, we'll happy to answer them all.
What class does it actually remove a lot of barriers of the progress of students. The conventional education system is blocking the progress of some of the more, motivated and capable, students. All right. I mean, just to give you an example. I mean, I taught, right up to the doctorate level. I'm against the idea that for a doctorate level program, you must actually take 3 years. I said, with the technology, with the software, with the aid and all that, doing research for a thesis, you don't need 3 years. You can do it in a year or even less. I will measure your output. If you can finish it in 9 months, you meet my standard, I will say, yes, I'm going to grade, I'm going to, award you, right, your doctorate. So the same thing, you have got a very structured, defined education system, primary year 1 to year 6, spend 6 years, then secondary another 6 years before you go to the university. Why take 12 years when if you are able to do it in 8 years?
Good professor. Very good professor. Totally agree. We don't need to confine by the wall of education. We define the speed, everything according to the unique ability of your kids, passion of your kid. That is what is the beauty of homeschool. 还有没有其他问题？仲有冇其他問題啊？ Chance 要唔要 say hi to Professor Chan 啊？定係我哋4點再見？
I think I'll be seeing some of you in Malaysia for your graduation.
好，如果冇問題，我哋今日就停喺度啊。咁今日嘅會議嘅 link 咧，就會send 到 Hong Kong Homeschool Association 嘅YouTube website， 我會 send 個 link 俾你。再一次強調connect 我。那我们就今天停在这里。今天的那个 link 会议的 link 我会上我们香港在家教育协会YouTube 那个 channel 里面，然后你要找我 connect 我，不是所有人都有我的微信或者是 WeChat， 可能你在我的那个 group 里面 Homeschool group 里面，你可以单独去 connect 我，我很愿意去帮助你们的。然后我给那个 link 里面for this meeting we will close here and the link will be upload to YouTube Homeschool Association YouTube YouTube channel and I will pass you the link. Remember to connect to me, then I can pass you the link. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor Chen. Thank you. See you at 4, Professor Chen. Thank you. 再见，再见，拜拜，拜拜。